Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. My volume here. Okay. Happy Monday. Everybody had a good weekend. Mine was fairly decent. Ended up cutting the grass yesterday. Had to get it cut. It was starting to get long. So it looks a lot better, I'll be honest. Plus we don't have a lot of trees actually in our yard, but there are a bunch of pine trees behind our yard, basically. And so the pine needles have been, accumulating in the yard, and so I took my lawnmower, which it's relatively new. We bought it after we bought this house, um, and it has 3 modes to it. You can have it with no attachments, and it basically mulches or whatever. And then you could put the side chute on, and it'll shoot the grass out the side. And then, of course, you could put the bag on. So I'm like, okay, well, we got the pine straw. I really don't want to rake if I don't have to. So I put the bag on, and I'm like, okay, well, in the past I've had bagged lawnmowers, and they usually do a fairly good job at picking up needles and leaves and stuff. Not perfect, but would at least make the job a little bit easier. So I put the bag on for the first time, and cutting the grass, and of course the bag is leaking a little bit. I guess it's not as good of a seal, and so some of the grass shavings comes out as you're, pushing or whatever. I checked the directions to make sure everything was hooked up. I mean, it's a fairly simple way to hook it up, and everything was right, and it still was leaking a little bit. But it did a pretty good job picking up the pine needles. Um, I would definitely say that. So it cut that job in half or whatever. So yeah, we got that done, and now we're back to Monday. All right, so we're going to talk about a few things before we start playing here. All right, so we've been streaming Oblivion on Mondays, and of course, in case you didn't know, there is a playlist over on YouTube for every single episode up to now. That way, if you want to catch up or whichever. Um, then Tuesdays we play Ghost of Yotai, and then Wednesdays we play Final Fantasy Tactics, the new remake. And then of course, Friday I try to set it up for Twitch subscribers only, as a way of saying, thank you for the financial support. Um, it helps out a lot. A lot of streamers appreciate the support that y'all give them, because they are investing a large amount of time, or as much free time as they are able to provide content for y'all. And unless you're really big, uh, y'all are the only way they get paid. Um, I guess there's some really big streamers out there that have contracts with Twitch, YouTube, Kick, whatever, and those platforms pay them like it's an actual salary kind of job or something, I guess. Obviously, I don't know anything really about that, because I'm a smaller streamer and definitely not a part of that. Uh, but you'll probably find that 90% to 95% of streamers on any platform don't have that same opportunity. So um, their pay comes from y'all, basically, whether it be um, donation, which the platform doesn't get any percentage of that, a subscription, or I guess membership if you're over on YouTube, which the platform does take a percentage of that, um, or from ad revenue. Those are basically the three main ways most streamers kind of get paid, from streaming, from the actual content that they're creating, is those three things. Obviously, ad revenue is like a penny. You don't really get much at all um, from that, unless you got a very large amount of viewers that are watching your ads. And most people don't like to watch ads. I understand completely. I come from the generation before we had streaming TV. There was no Netflix, there was no Hulu, none of that. You had cable, and then eventually satellite came out, or you had your local stations with the bunny ears or terrestrial antennas, whatever you want to call them. And they had commercials. There was no option to skip commercials. You couldn't pay an extra fee and not get any commercials. You got commercials and you paid for it, unless it was the local channels. So what'd you do when a commercial came on? Well, most people didn't watch commercials. That was the time that you got up to go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen, get a drink or a snack, laundry, whatever. You took that time during the commercials to do something else. And then you came back and continued watching your show or a movie or whatever. Of course, I first started, we had VCRs and VHS, um, in which you put your tape in, and you could rewind, fast forward, whatever. Blank tape, you could record, something on TV, even though I guess technically you're not supposed to, although they provide you with the ability to do it. And then DVDs came out, and it's relatively the same, just different formats or whatever. So then you could skip through there. But most movies, if you bought a VHS tape or DVD, the movie didn't have commercials on it. It's usually maybe some previews or something at the beginning of the movie. If you recorded with a VHS tape or something, then you might have recorded those commercials, and then you could have fast forward through those commercials. But as far as actual TV goes, there was no skipping ads, so you just went and did something. That being said, if y'all are anything like me, we don't really want to watch commercials, and so when we watch streamers play games or whatever, because the streaming world's much bigger than just gaming. I'm just a gamer, so that's the avenue I'm in. But there's two ways to avoid commercials, basically. One, you can financially support that creator and subscribe, and you'll get ad-free viewing, which it benefits both you and the streamer. And then they won't get any ad revenue from that because you're not watching ads. Okay? And then you got people that do whatever they can to avoid the ad. Of course, you got ad blockers, which lots of times will block advertisements. So people use that, meaning once again they're not getting any ad revenue from that. Or they move on to another streamer. And I find myself doing that sometimes. I might be watching somebody and then a commercial will come on, or maybe it's even one of those pre-roll ads kind of thing. And then I'll just click on the next one on the list that might have interest in, to skip the advertisement. I completely understand. I'm kind of the same way. I don't really want to watch the same ad over and over and over and over again. So you just move on to somebody else, and you keep going down the list until you find somebody that's not running an ad or whatever, and then you watch them, and then maybe over time you make your way back up to the person that you skipped before because of the ad, and maybe there won't be an ad that time. So that's kind of, I don't know if ad revenue is a really good way for a creator to try to make money, unless he or she does have a large following and viewers who are actually watching those ads. But I think from what I've observed, I think most creators kind of strive to get the subscriptions, which is the monthly payments, which gives you that ad-free viewing. I don't really know of too many content creators that talk about, let's watch some ads so I can make some money. You don't really hear that. So that's kind of how content creation is. Each platform, of course, has its pros and cons. I think Twitch and Kick, if you're monetized being live. Get no money from people watching your videos when you're not live. Whereas YouTube is kind of both, I guess. If you're monetized on YouTube, you can get paid while you're live, as well as ad revenue, and then you can get paid from ad revenue when you're not live, when people are watching your videos. So you could be on vacation for a week and still be paid on YouTube because people are watching your monetized videos. Downfall with YouTube, though, is like everything is copyrighted. And if anything is flagged as copyright, you can't monetize it. Or the person saying it's theirs end up getting your monetization. Which is why lots of times you end up with people claiming that they own the rights to whatever you have on your video, and they actually don't. It's lying, and it's to steal your monetization is really what it is. So then you got to go through that whole dispute thing, and I don't know 100% with Kick and Twitch, but I do know with YouTube, if you dispute something, you go through their little form, and you can give like a little explanation of what's going on. But there's no middleman, there's no mediator, there's no judge that says you're right, they're wrong. It's up to the person who says it's theirs, which really makes no sense. And I think YouTube needs to change that and be a little bit more involved in that manner of speaking. If somebody breaks into your home and steals your jewelry or something of value, police come, and the police say, "Well, sir, the accused, is it yours or is it his?" And then the thief says, "It's mine. I didn't steal it from him. It's mine." And then the cop says, "Okay, have a nice day." That's basically how it is, how it's run on YouTube. There's nobody doing any kind of investigation or whatnot. It's completely up to the person claiming the rights, which in some cases would be what you would call the suspect, criminal. Could you imagine if our country, state, city, whatever was run that way, where the criminals had more power than everybody else, and they could just simply say, "I didn't commit that crime," and then it would be dropped. See what I'm saying? That's the one issue I have with YouTube. I wish they would change that and have an actual person or department that handles disputes, and it's not between the two parties. There should always be a third party. But anyways, so that being said, um, I'd like to know your opinion. I would like to know your interest. Um, I occasionally post questions and stuff on YouTube and Discord, trying to pick y'all's brains because you're the viewers and you're very important. What you think is very important. Um, and Twitch and Kick don't have the ability for me to do posts like that, which is why I don't have them on Twitch and Kick. That would probably be a good option for them to add onto their platforms, is being able to post and communicate with your viewers or followers or whatever. But I was trying to find out of the games that we were playing, which ones do y'all like the most? You like Oblivion the most? You like Ghost of Yotai? You like Final Fantasy Tactics? Just trying to pick your brain. Um, One thing that I'm debating. I always kind of try to play a variety of games to try to reach as many people. Like today I'm playing Oblivion. Well, maybe there's people that aren't really interested in watching Oblivion, and so then the thought was, okay, well then tomorrow I'll play something different. The downfall that I kind of have with my schedule is I can really only stream 3-4 days a week, and it's only for 2 to 3 hours. I have a family of three. I have other responsibilities and obligations. So I don't have all the free time to stream all day like some people do. Some people do 8-hour, 12-hour streams. I don't have that option at this point in time. So some of these games, like Oblivion, are fairly long games. Um, and it takes a while to complete, especially if you're only playing it once a week. So the question is, are you perfectly happy with the way the stream schedule is? 3 different games, Monday through Wednesday. Of course, Friday is something different because it's a subscriber only. So we're going to leave Fridays out of this discussion. 3 different games, 3 days a week, or would you rather see the same game 2-3 days a week, and then get through the game a little bit faster and then move on to the next game? Let me know in the chat or over on Discord, or Discord. You can let me know on Discord. There is a post over on YouTube that asks which game you like the most, and you can just vote, and that would kind of answer that question a little bit. So let me know what you think. I'm always open for suggestions because this isn't all about me. It might be to some degree me playing the games that I enjoy, sharing it with people, and trying to find other people that also are interested in the same things. But it's also about what you enjoy as well, because without the viewer, it's just me, right? I'm just streaming for myself, right? Not quite as fun, you know. So I want to know what y'all think. All right. We are going to move on to the game. Boom. We are. Let's turn on game audio. So I kind of have some positive news. It's nice to be able to have some positive news from time to time. So if you look at the C drive, it's at 23 gigabytes. Okay. If you've been following me, you know I've been having issues with my hard drive constantly filling up, and you know I'll delete the temporary files, and I might have a gig or two for a while, and then it would fill up. I couldn't download updates. I couldn't uh, do a bunch of things because the hard drive was always full. Uh, Things would crash because of it and whatnot. So I discovered the other day, using what is that called? WizTree. That the files that were using a large amount of space on my drive, some were system files, which obviously I can't really do anything about, but the other was NVIDIA or NVIDIA or however you want to, say it. And so with this computer, you have what's called NVIDIA app. Okay. And you use that app to download game drivers, and you can also use it to optimize settings for your games and stuff. There's a lot more. I think you can even use it to go streaming, or unless they got rid of the shadow play option or whatever. But anyways, um, it was taking up a lot of space. It was taking up over 20 gigs on the drive, and I'm like, why is it taking up so much space? So one issue that I've had in the past with NVIDIA app, which they kind of changed the name of it, but sometimes they would come out with a new version. You would try to update it, it would update, and then when you try to open it up, it would have an error, and it wouldn't open up, and so you would have to uninstall it and then reinstall it and hope it works. NVIDIA, you really need to work on that, guys. And so had to do that several times, and I don't know if there was like files left behind or what, but there's a thing you can download called cleanup tool for NVIDIA. So I ran the cleanup tool. It uninstalled basically everything related to NVIDIA app or whatever, and then I had to go back and reinstall it. And so it's kind of funny because I have two monitors. I like having two monitors. Makes things a little bit easier to do things. But when I uninstalled NVIDIA, you have to do a restart, and then it comes back and it only loads up one monitor. And so you can go to your display settings and you could say, detect other monitor, and it'll say there's no monitor to detect. It doesn't detect your second monitor. But as soon as you reinstall NVIDIA, then it pops up and now it's there. I don't know exactly why that is, but it's however they designed this computer. It's an older computer. I do need to upgrade, and maybe one day I'll get to that point. It's just, computers are expensive. I'm trying to do some research on different computer companies and the price, if it's worth it and whatnot. Some people build their own. I don't have the same kind of knowledge and experience with building computers. So I'd rather have somebody just do it for me, and then, I buy it already done, pre-built, I guess is what they call it. So I'm kind of tossing around a few. I've noticed a lot of creators are using, was it Starforge or something like that? I guess the company was created by streamers. And so I've seen some positive reviews. I've seen some negative reviews. The one I'm looking at, they want like $1,800 for, and it's the lower end, but it's still better than what I got now. You can even customize skins or whatever to put on your desktop to, give your computer some decoration. And then I saw this other one. I can't think of what it's called. Pull it up here. MG1, I think, main gear, yeah. Um, and they look like they might have some good stuff as well. I'm trying that way. They're a little bit cheaper by the looks of it, and they actually the one computer I looked at, you can decorate it too with a magnet plate that goes on the front, which looked kind of neat. And so the pro of that is it's a lot easier to change out. You know, if you want to do one image one day, another image another day, you can switch them out relatively easy. You know, if you're into decorations. If not, just leave it the way it is, right? So I'm kind of looking around at different pre-built companies. You know, obviously I want something more around the gaming avenue and not a general use kind of computer. Um, so that, you know, this is a little bit easier to do. Let's see. All right, we got sound. We got everything's good here. All right, so we are playing a Breton custom class adventurer. Um, we have not yet taken arrow in the knee. Woohoo! Um, Still got the tower first sign here, which you know I don't really use. um, we are rocking the Umbra sword. See here, one-handed sword. Woohoo! We got a bow of glass with a flame enchantment on it, which is pretty good. Then we got some glass arrows, some elven arrows, and then we picked up some ebony arrows. I kind of killed Umbra without starting the quest, so the game considered it murder. So Dark Brotherhood came and said, you know, we want to recruit you. And I said, no, because I didn't really want to. I wasn't really wanting to, you know, go in that kind of class. And so he gives me this blade and says, well, you know, let me know if you change your mind, kind of thing. I can't get the dagger out of my inventory because it's a quest item. It also weighs absolutely nothing. And has an attack of 5, so it's not the greatest of attacks. I think it's an ebony dagger technically. Uh, so I have basically a free dagger stuck in my inventory, but it doesn't weigh anything, so it's not that big a deal. I could use it if I needed to. I don't really see why I would need to, but so of course we also have the Umbra armor. Of course it's heavy armor because we're kind of doing a heavy armor playthrough. Then we got some enchanted jewelry here. We're reflecting magic and damage back to the enemy, a small percentage. Then of course we got water breathing necklace if we need it. Then we have feather, which you know helps you carry more stuff. And then we got light, which I tend to use a lot when we are in caves and dark areas. Then this, of course, raises some magic resistance and agility by a little bit. All right, we got tons of potions. We're trying to get the scales for the farmer outside the Imperial City. I've managed to get 5. There's no more slaughterfish in that lake. I have been all over that lake on multiple streams, and there's no more slaughterfish in that lake. They're all gone. But I still need to get more scales. So I'm like, I guess that quest is broken for some reason. And I need to get some more of this wine for the innkeeper. And of course, then we got our keys and repair hammers. And, we're, of course, remodeling some player homes. Let's go over to quests. We are currently exploring a cave. I think we went into the cave and we stopped there. Yeah, we're right here. I don't think we went through the entire cave, so we're gonna do that. I'm just trying to like explore the road to Coral here. The Orange Road, I guess, is what it's called. And we found a few things here and there. Why is there a marker there? There we go. So we're making our way down the road, just trying to fill in the map a little bit. Then we'll probably, after we're done with the orange road, we'll probably make our way back over here. We did close the gate right here, and we'll make our way down this road here, and then turn down the, was it Red Ring Road? Is that what it says? Red Ring Road. Probably go down that way, try to, fill up some more map. I kind of want to focus on the left side first, since that's where we've been doing most of our stuff. Then we'll eventually move on to the right side. We are going to slowly make our way to Crowhaven, do that quest after we start filling in this section here. All right. So we're in the cave. We got our nice ringlet, a light ring. Ooh. Heard a rat. You dirty rat. A Minotaur. We will take your horn. Funny. One big open room, nothing in here. But that one chest. And a Minotaur. And a will-o-wisp. Alright, so we'll go this way. Another Minotaur, maybe? Something's coming. Ogre. Oh, we got a giant bug. Wow. Can you like fit through here? Ebony diamond ring? Oh, that looks kind of neat, actually. We might have to hold on to that. We have a mage player home, although we're not really a mage. But in it, I think you can create enchanted rings and scrolls and stuff. We might have to try that at some point. Alright, I don't see any doors or openings or anything on this side, just that treasure chest. Guess we're going this way. Bear? Oh, it's friggin'. That a rat? Ooh, there's a trap door going down. Ah, there we go. I was going to say, auto attempt is not wanting to work. Cat. That line. We got some more glass arrows. Bound Caress. Longsword of the Glacier. Well, we can sell it. I think it's stronger than Umbra. Oh, let's see. I do need to take that back. Up a little bit. Killed my scamp. And then I messed up the shot. Look at that. Hey, how's it going? Oh, I gotta get reused to the buttons. How you doing today? Really? And then it moved. I don't know where the arrow is going. I had it high, I had it low. It's just not wanting to work. Unless the arrows are just going through it. You telling me because the arrows are not enchanted, it's not going to work? That's not the sneak button anymore. Bow's enchanted, so it should work. There's a lot of arrow drop in this, especially if you're crouched. There's an arrow. There's an arrow. All right, let's. I came from there. I got this. Uriel shield. Those. Money. And a cave in. That appears to be it. That's all that's in this cave. It's a shame we don't have like a teleport out of this cave kind of spell. I know they have some teleportation spell mods for Skyrim. I haven't really had the opportunity to use them at the moment, but I think I did download some. And then if you play Andoril, which is a conversion mod for Skyrim, which completely changes the entire game, there's a teleport spell in that too, which comes in handy big time. So basically, you cast like a spell, and it opens a portal on one end, and then you go through your dungeon or whatever. Let's say you have too much stuff to carry. Well, you cast the other portal. And so like what I did is I had a portal at my house in town, and then I would cast a portal in the cave, go in the portal, go back to my house, store whatever I wanted to keep, sell whatever I didn't, go back in the portal, back to the cave, and continue where I was. Very convenient. Alright, so once we get out of the cave, we are probably going to go back to town. We're going to get rid of the statue for one. Sell some stuff. We're going to keep that ebony ring, though. I kind of like the way it looks. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this and maybe enchant it. It actually looks a little bit like a tungsten ring. My wedding band's actually tungsten. You know, other than the fact that it's dark, is the ebony. But having that ring around the middle makes it look like one of those tungsten rings. Alright, so statue guy is... Let's see. Hallows. We will find out. Ah, it's dark.
Hail, good citizen. How can I be of service?
That's his house there, I believe. They might actually let me go in there since it's a quest, but for a little immersion, we're going to stay at the hotel, even though we do have a house at the waterfront. But we're not at the waterfront right now. That requires more walking.
How do you do? Yes?
Let's see.
All right.
I'm waiting here.
You're a big fat liar. That's really funny. Thank you. You can't scare me.
Oh, let's do you.
You're wasting your blah,
like
blah,
that.
blah. That's real. You're too kind.
Try. All right. And we need
Why, yes.
40. I'll take it.
Excellent. Bye.
How are you?
How are you?
Well met.
Blasted thief.
Goodbye.
Bye. Is that my room? That one might be my room. That is not my room. Probably at the end of the hall. Probably that one. Somebody made a mess. That's it. We'll wait till it says 8 o'clock.
Hello.
The goat. Goat in the hotel. Did you stay at an inn that had a goat?
Spare a coin for the infirm.
It's not open. Guess he wasn't awake yet.
Good to see you.
Very good.
Ah, the treasure. Ah, yes. Yes. Have you found... Beautiful. Exquisite. You have proven yourself to be quite resourceful. I have another task which should interest someone of your particular talents.
Really?
You have proven yourself more than a simple grave robber. I believe you can handle a more complicated assignment.
Oh.
Are you interested?
Depends.
Excellent. Here, take a look at this sketch. The ancient text referred to this site only as the High Fane. Do you know it?
No, that doesn't look familiar.
I'm not surprised. I have not been able to find any modern reference to it. Still, the architectural detail is distinctive enough. It may still be recognizable.
What am I supposed to be looking for?
The High Fane dates from the late Aeliad period, following the fall of White Gold Tower, a very troubled time for that ancient people. A time I find most fascinating. The drawing on the bottom of the page I gave you depicts a carved panel from the central chamber of the High Fane. I believe this carving will shed new light on Aeliad history. If I am able to examine it closely, I would like you to retrieve it for me. You will need this as well. It is the key to the inner chamber of the High Fane. I part with it reluctantly, so guard it well. It is what began my search for the High Fane many years ago. Farewell.
Okay. Gonna keep an eye out for a High Fane. Let's see here. Gave us a drawing of it. There's the key for it. Entrance to High Fane. Carved panel, carved Aeliad wall. Chronicles of the Brothers of Baruch. Okay. Well, it may be eventually our wandering around.
Hail.
We'll get to it.
You must be Umbacano's new plaything. Well met. I am Claude Marek, another pawn in Umbacano's game. I always enjoy meeting my rival treasure hunters. What? Did you think you were the only one? Come, let's have a drink together.
I bet you he's going to try to rob me of the key and the drawing. Going to be like Sam from Skyrim. You drink and then you wake up in the temple of Dibella and Markarth, supposedly married.
Barkeep, a drink for my friend.
I'll try to keep my distance. I can't talk to him from here. Ah.
Now then, I propose a toast. To Umbacano, may his purse never run dry. Our mutual employer rarely tells us the whole story, but he pays very well. Not that I should be giving advice to one of my rivals. We'll see.
Well, let's try to persuade him to.
You're wasting your breath. Good one. Don't talk such rot. I salute you. Most impressive. That's just talk. Sure, that's cute. Don't waste your... My life is drab and wretched by comparison.
Really?
Not bad. What nonsense. Such adventure. You're wasting your breath.
You're wasting yours.
I salute you. That's just talk. That's pretty good. What nonsense. Don't try to manipulate me. That's amazing. Oh, please. Good one. That's just talk. That's pretty good. Don't waste your... I salute you. Most impressive. That's amazing. Oh, please. That's pretty good. Don't talk such rot. Such adventures. How? You're wasting your breath. Sure, that's cute. Not now, not later, not ever. That's just talk. Good one. Don't talk such adventures. How I envy you.
All right.
Our mutual employer rarely tells us the whole story.
Okay.
You know what? I will help you. Although it is liable to get you killed. The High Fane is now known as Malada, up in the Valus Mountains. But I do not advise you to go there. Read The Cleansing of the Fane first, then decide. As I said, a very bad place.
The Cleansing of the Fane?
I don't own it. One of the rare book dealers in the market district may have a copy. Read it. Educate yourself.
Maleda?
Must I hold your hand? I begin to wonder what Umbacano sees in you. It is an Ayleid ruin in the far west of this province, up in the Valus Mountains. Think carefully about what I told you, but I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, we've been having chilly mornings here too. Dress warm in the morning and then then shed as the day goes on. Yeah, sometimes coffee will do the trick. Market. I guess while we're here, we'll go through some of them, see if they got any new inventory yet.
I'm Bernard.
Hey, Bernardo.
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
I don't think that's better than what I got. Mine is a 10. Yours is a 9, even though it is enchanted. Nothing all that great. Alright, let's see. Sell the longsword of the glacier. That'll give us some money. Keep. All this.
A fine...
That.
You've made a fine transaction. You got a great deal there.
Did I? Probably won't use that, so sell it.
Come back and see me again. Farewell.
What else do I have? I could get. I think that's actually it. Right? Fine, elegance, clothes, just spells, staffs, armor.
Good to see you.
Copious.
Well met.
First edition.
Well met.
This might be a good place to look for that book.
What? I'm listening. You're revolting. You're wasting your breath. Goodness, what can I... Well done. Get away from me. That's just talk. Please, I'm embarrassed, but I wish I could say that. Remarkable. You're revolt. You can't scare me. Really now, you're such a charmer. You can't scare me. Really now, you're such a charmer. Remarkable. You're revolting.
You're revolting.
You're wasting your breath. Really now, you're such... Well done. You should be ashamed. I appreciate the pound. That will get you. That works for me. Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Or at 155? Probably say no. And Iron Mason's closed too. Cleansing of the Fane.
No deal.
No deal.
I can't afford to do that.
Yes, you can.
That's just not reasonable. Make me a better offer.
I did.
You need to make a better offer. You need to make a better offer.
He's stingy.
You're trying to drive me out of business.
No, you trying to put me in debt.
Another satisfied
I
customer.
wouldn't say that particularly
Good
satisfied.
day.
All right, let's see here. Do you have somewhere I can sit down and read? Very comfy. In the cleansing of the High Fane is identified as the ruin now known as Malata in the Vallis Mountains. I should proceed to Malata and look for the carved panel that Umbakano wants. 3 pages, okay. The Chronicles of the Holy Brothers of Maruk, or the Cleansing of the Fane. This is the only surviving fragment of the Chronicle of the First Era sect of the Elysian Order. It seems to have been kept at their great monastic complex at Lake Canulus, which was raised during the War of Righteousness, and its archives, I can't talk, destroyed or dispersed. Note also that Elysian scribes of this time customarily dated events from the hypothesis of Alessa. Here is recorded the events of the year of 127 of the blessed Alessa. Elysium. In this year was the we're going to skip words too. In this year was the day darkened over all lands, and the sun was all as it were baser, 3 days old, and the stars about him at midday. This was on the 5th of the first seed. All who saw it were dismayed and said that a great event should come hereafter. So it did, for that same year issued forth a great concourse of devils from the ancient elvish temple Malata. Such had not been seen since the days of King Belharza. These devils greatly afflicted the land, such that no man could plow or reap or seed, and the people appealed to the brothers of Maruk for succor. And then Abbot Osmus gathered all the brothers and led them to Malata, also known as the High Fane in the Elvish tongue, and came against it with holy fire, and the foul demons were destroyed. Many devilish relics and books found therein were burned, and the land had peace for many years. Okay. Effect, open map. Now, did I read that wrong? Didn't they say it was in the west? Or was I like hallucinating or something? I thought sure they said west. This is east. West would be this way. I thought sure I read west. Maybe west of Morrowind. But it's not west of the Imperial City. Well, we're not going in that area yet. Let's see here. Purchase anything I need to restore this place to its former glory from in the Mystic Emporium, the Market District. Okay, so that being said, I have almost 10,000 gold, and I need 10,000 gold to buy the house in Coral. So I think we are going to wait. We're not going to spend the money yet. Let's see here. My inventory. I'm good. Taking up a little bit of room. Not that big a deal. All right. Dude, you got a book on the floor. I'm not going to help you pick it up because you would consider that stealing. Alright, we are going to go back over here and continue on down the Orange Road. Got here, waterfall. Alright, so I think we came across that bridge. I mean, according to the map, we're not really on a road. We have a Minotaur. We were there, so nothing's on the compass yet. But we do have a little bit of a fork in the road. I'm gonna say this takes us back where we were. Back this way, so there's a little circle with the bridge. I'm not seeing anything pop up on the compass, but we are probably gonna turn around. Alright. Someone's dead. Be killed by that Minotaur? Bandit. Amulet of Deception. Wonder if there's anything this way. Sorta looks like a path. Bear. Oh, we have something. Kind of behind Coral. Got a ruin there. Came from there. Only thing popping up right now is a ruin. So check it out. We are over encumbered. Again. Alright, we're going to get rid of the Minotaur horns. One downfall about wearing heavy armor is you're going to get your inventory full a lot quicker. Really, Wolf? You want some of this? Nothing else on the compass. Check out the ruin. So it definitely goes into the mountain, the hill here, around. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which way do I go? Boy, it goes down and down and down and down. Alright, let's check the other one. Probably does the same, right? Probably one big circle. Yep. One big circle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I need telekinesis. I think I own it. I just can't use it. Maybe I don't even own it. I do, but I can't use it because I don't have enough magicka. It needs 306 magic points. Ain't that crazy? I don't even have 200. Not even 200. So we have to stick to arrows. I need to find a spell that gives me bound arrows. Are you kidding me? I probably won't be able to reach it. Got it, yeah. Lost an arrow. That's okay. Arrows are easier to replace. These things can give me money to buy some. Invisible walls. You gotta love them. Yeah, I got it. Alright, we're gonna put our light ring on. Who are you? Another trap. He's like bouncing off the walls here. Arrow. Bandit. Khajiit. Oh, not really worth anything. We have a doorway that way, actually.
If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get.
Alright. We'll go this way.
Showing your face was the last mistake you'll ever make.
They're not very strong bandits. Hourglass. Iron dagger. Alright, so that's all that's here.
Oh, what's the matter? Is the thing?
Ouch. I forgot about that one. That's okay. Because I do need to heal. I need to raise my restoration levels. Alright, come on, Wi-Fi. It's been a little while. We are going to do a save. Come on. Do I have any target spells? Flare. Not gonna work, really. Trinity, calm the target. Telekinesis, dead. I'm not really wanting to use destruction magic with this playthrough. Golden Dagger. Ooh, lots of stone. Person.
Have you heard any words about that?
Damn, it's always skirting around in the shadows, making me jumpy. Nothing to worry about, I guess. Just my eyes playing tricks on me.
We're here somewhere.
Who's there?
That's what the Elven Caress looks like. I think I already have one. So I was looking up, would they ever set it up where you can use mods in this game, particularly on like the console? Because I know they are already modding this game with Nexus and whatnot, but to do it sort of like they did with Skyrim and have, you know, mods available in the game. And the response I got from the internet was no. They have no plans on releasing any mods for this game. They said because of the engine, they can't do it. Which I find interesting if people are doing it on Nexus. I don't think it's a matter of can't. I think it's more of a matter of won't. And the only reason why I would be interested in mods for this game would be to have stuff that's kind of missing in this game. Which I know this game's a remaster of the original, but it would be nice to have like a survival mode where you have to eat and drink and all that mess. That would be nice. Being able to have like a tent and camping out in the forest would be pretty cool. More crafting options. Apparently the only thing you can craft in this besides alchemy is the rings and the scrolls at the appropriate places, which are few. So you can't make any weapons, no, you can't make any armors, you can't make them stronger. You're pretty much no crafting at all. And cooking is pretty much done as alchemy. I'll be back in a few minutes. All right. So you have the legalities of contracts and whatnot. So that's a possible reason why they don't want to do mods for this game. I get, I mean, that's always an issue. There's always a legality, right? Same kind of issue with Sony and mods and whatnot. There's just some things I wish they would have put in the game, that are not in the game. Like fighting on the horse. I remember when Skyrim first came out, they didn't have any fighting on the horse either. You had to get off the horse. Meanwhile, the creature is killing your horse, and then after the load of the load. It's not a load screen, but you can't do anything while you're in the animation of getting off the horse. Meanwhile, the enemy can. The enemy is hitting your horse while you're getting off the horse. And so then you have the chance of your horse dying before you even get to do anything. Then when they released the special edition, they added combat on the horse, which, made a little bit more sense. You could ride in circles around the enemy and hit them with your sword, and whatnot. And then, of course, a nice mod came out called Convenient Horses, which I like because it adds another option. You can be riding away from the enemy, and then you can jump off the horse. And when you jump off the horse, they automatically have you draw your sword. So you can get your horse out of the way and then immediately start combat as you get off your horse, which is pretty awesome. They also allow you to store stuff on the horse, too. Okay, sorry about that. It was my wife. Whenever your spouse sends you a text, it's always important that you reply as soon as you are able. Just never know. All right. So yeah, there's a few things I would like to see in the game. Although I understand this is a remake of an older game, so that's probably why they didn't, do that. But it would have been nice. I'm hoping in Elder Scrolls 6 they'll add a few things. I understand, you can't make everybody happy. Some people want this, some people don't. Some people want that, some people don't. I understand that. But as far as my opinion goes, in today's world, offering immersion, I think is a big thing. And one thing you can do for immersion would definitely be camping, eating, drinking, and whatnot, sleeping. Having a tent that you can carry around and be able to throw out and camp anywhere. That would be cool. Of course, combat on a horse. Honestly, I know there's always mixed reviews about settlement building. Boy, my wife's blowing up my phone. So in Skyrim, you didn't really have settlement building. Earthfire, you could build 3 homes, in a sense, but there wasn't much freedom in it. You had a workbench, You had recipes. You had to go get the ingredients. You couldn't really make as much freedom of decision on how to design it. Whereas, meanwhile, about the same time, you had Fallout 4, which started settlement building, right? So not only could you build a house, you could build an entire town. And you could, for the most part, build it any way you want. You can decorate it any way you want. You could set it up. You had more freedom. Okay. You could even recruit or have people come to your settlement, and then you could give them weapons and armor and stuff and make them equipped it. So if you wanted to have guards for your town, you could all dress them in the same outfit, with the same weapons to make it look more uniform. You can't do that in Skyrim. That was not an option. They didn't have that freedom of choice. I would like to see something like that in future Elder Scrolls games, where you could, build a town, and maybe you're the lord of the town or something, and you can easily say, here, have this armor and this sword, and then you hit the button and it makes them, equipped it, and then all your guards look the same. And it just looks better. And even have the freedom of, designing the house the way you want, or have more freedom. See, this isn't the Skyrim engine. Skyrim engine was a creation of Bethesda from the ground up. This is a mashup of Unreal Engine 5 and Gamebryo. You pick between two options for each of 3 wings of the house. Yes. I think it's cute that you still have hope for future games from this studio. Of course, they did sell it to Microsoft, didn't they? But I know they probably won't do it. But it's like what I would like to see in a game. I haven't played. Oblivion's the first Elder Scrolls game I ever played. So I can't really speak for the others. The other 3, I guess. So I played Oblivion, I played Skyrim, and then, of course, ESO. But I would also change up the whole character story a little bit. There's one common theme throughout all the Elder Scrolls that I have experienced so far. You're a criminal. You're arrested. You're in prison. So in Oblivion, for whatever reason, you're in a jail cell. They don't tell you what you did. There's no really backstory other than all of a sudden you're in a jail cell. You kind of have a question when you talk to the Emperor, and he's kind of like, well, whatever you did, it doesn't matter. It'd be nice to know what I did, right? Where I came from prior to being in this cell. I wasn't just born in this cell, right? So you start out in a prison cell. Okay? Skyrim. You're not in a prison cell, but you've been arrested by the Imperial army, and you're about to lose your head. So you're a prisoner. ESO, they've kind of changed it up a lot. But regardless, you wake up in a cell. Somebody's prisoner. There's a common thing here. You're always a prisoner. It would be nice to see something different. And I think that's probably why they did do the alternate start mods to make it a little different. I had thought, it would be neat to maybe they could make it to where you had options, and so obviously the beginning, you would have different options in the beginning, and then it would all loop it together for the rest of the game. And so it'd be neat if you could choose what kind of character you wanted to play. You could still design them, still name them and all that mess, but where you would start off would be different. It'd be neat if you could be a guard. Not necessarily like an Imperial soldier. I mean, you can make that an option, but be like a guard. You know, if you want to, just throwing out an example, if you wanted to be a regular guard in Whiterun, you could be a regular guard in Whiterun. Okay, and maybe have it to where some of your requests in the beginning of the game have to do with you being a guard. It's jobs that you do, and then you get noticed by the Jarl, and then the Jarl sends you on certain quests and whatnot, and gives you more freedom to explore the world, and then you kind of become an adventurer that way. Maybe start off as a farmer, or a hunter, or a fisherman, and something happens that leads you to the path of being the adventurer. You know, something like that would be really neat. I played Arena for about 5 minutes, Daggerfall for about 12 minutes. Starting in custody is the way Elder Scrolls starts. If you want different, play another game. Also mods, yes. Which is why I, like the option of mods. And honestly, if another game would come out kind of similar to Elder Scrolls with those kind of options, I would definitely be interested in checking it out. And there are a few games that have come out, are coming out that I'm curious about. That I've seen some previews on and seen some people playing. At some point I might try those. But don't rebrand the whole series just because you don't like it. Now Fallout, is a little different. They gave you a little bit of variety in it. I started Fallout 3. And so Fallout 3, you're a kid in the vault and you're growing up in a vault, but you find out you weren't always in the vault. That your dad was a scientist trying to find a way to provide clean water, basically, for the whole area. And so your father found a way, I guess, and escapes the vault, which, got you in trouble. So you escape the vault and you're trying to find your dad. Fallout New Vegas was the next one that came out. And what happened? Well, you were a mailman, a courier, and you got robbed and shot in the head. And so you survived, and you're investigating why you were robbed and shot in the head, and trying to get your package back, and then you get involved in a whole bunch of other crap. So we've gone from growing up in a vault to a mailman, and then Fallout 4, you start out in pre-war time. You're a father or a mother, whichever one you want to decide on, and you're put in a cryopod in a vault for 200 years. Your son is kidnapped, and you have to go find him. So there's a lot of difference in the backstory there. Meaning if they did change that and give starting options, they'd alienate more fans than they'd gain. Well, the one issue with those options is you would have to draw a line somewhere. You can only offer so many options. It couldn't be limitless. I guess that would fall better in like an MMO kind of thing, because there would be more room. I don't know. Different thoughts I have while I'm like playing the games and whatnot. Let's see here. All right. Gonna open the door? Not locked. I didn't even hear the sword hit the thing.
Ha!
No sound effects. I'm over encumbered again.
Damn rats.
Come on. Come and get it. Well, you're an archer. That's why you're not coming after me. I think I got him in the head. What do you think? What's this? Probably only going to be worth maybe 200 if I'm lucky. I think those stones also kill your magic. Need to head out. I'll have to catch the VOD. Thanks for the stream. Hey, thanks for coming. It's always good chatting with you. Elven bow. Have an elven bow. I think the glass one was better. Alright, stones. Stairs going up.
I'm just warming up.
He was just warming up. At the lockpicks. Down this way. Stones. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that one. I think it's in the middle. In my arrow. Ooh, I might be able to get it. Got it. Woohoo. I'm out of arrows. Got it, yay. Arrow fell down though. Back in the back. I can't jump because I'm over encumbered. Come on, I'm hitting the button. Bump it. Alright, I got the stones. Got that. Alright, going upstairs. I need to get some more arrows. In front of the door, behind the door? In front of the door. We got several possibilities here. That takes me back to the beginning. These are supposed to be like jail cells. Can't open anything though.
What's that? Who's there?
Wow. You gotta like analog sticks that wanna be janky. Some veggies. All right. The way I came. This way.
Who's there?
The ringleader. Canopy helmet. This magical, we can sell that. Bow of lightning. That's an ebony bow. Mithril helm of mind. Let's have a look at the bows here. Alright, so my bow is 9 and this one is 10. I think we're going to use this one. Does 20 points of shock damage. This does 25 of fire damage. Get some more soul gems. All right, now we're at the beginning. Let's go sell some stuff.
Have pity on an old war veteran.
How much is it?
Be happy to help you. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Oh, I got 10,000. I can buy that house.
A fine transaction. An excellent bargain.
Wow. So the Varla stone, he's paying me 582, whereas Umbacano's only giving me 500 for the statues.
A good price. Come back and see me again. Farewell.
All right, let's see. Let's head over to the weapon shop. See if she has anything new.
A pleasure to... What can I interest you in?
Buy some more elven arrows. Need some arrows.
Thank you. Come in. You too.
All right, what do you say we go buy that house in Coral?
A coin for an old beggar?
How do you do?
I lived in the Imperial city for a while. City life
Which house was it? I think it's this
I'm much happier
this
in
one.
Coral.
Yes.
I've been hearing disturbing tales about Oblivion
Yeah.
gates opening all
Harbor
across
Walk.
Cyrodiil. I hope it's just wild talk.
Looks nice. Let's go see if we can buy it. Francois. Check out the blacksmith, see if they got anything new. Probably not.
It's my pleasure. May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Finally, they got an elven longsword. Honestly, I'm not
Take
exactly
care.
sure what would be the next sword power. Umbra is probably one of the strongest ones in the game. I haven't seen a ebony longsword yet, and we haven't seen dragon bone stuff yet. We have seen some Daedric stuff.
Hail.
It is quite nice. You are. You'll be hard-pressed to find a nicer home.
I thought it was 10,000.
Well, I'm certainly not about to... Tell me more. Farewell.
I think she raised the price on it. Can you believe her? What a pity. 10 more thousand to go. Well, 6 more thousand. Alright, so we stopped around here. Go to the north gate, go outside the north gate, and then see if anything pops up on the compass. Horse wants to go the opposite direction I'm telling it to. There's a bear waiting for me. My arrow's back. I don't have my. What happened to my arrow? Okay. Black Rock Cavern. And we came from there. I think we need to go that way. There's sort of a path in that direction. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff in here. There's a big opening. Big space up there. Well, something else popped up. That one we're fairly close to. Got that arrow back. This one's probably lost in the grass somewhere. Bear. Thought I heard some running water. That's the next place we're going. Cave in the waterfall? Oh, I don't see a cave there. Not over here. Aha! Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Bandit, maybe? The door. So that way, what's the door? Leads to a loading screen. So let's go this way. What's this? Another door? Well, I see somebody over there. We'll take the arrows for sure. There's a ringleader. We took him out relatively easy. This is probably an ebony axe. Ebony axe. Money for that. Over income. Ale. It. I think we came in through that way. This probably leads through that other door we skipped. Oh, this is the door that we came through. So that's the other way. There's the other door. Trap too, look at it. Shadow shape. Assuming it makes you invisible. Yes, it does. I mean, technically, I could go like over here, but let's go ahead and snap it. Oh, back at the beginning. All right. We need to go sell the stuff we got, but we're going to do it in coral. That way we're not too far away. Nighttime. I could go to the inn or whatnot, but I'm just a little bit too impatient for that right now, so we're just going to sit out here and wait. Very long wait. Dark, rainy day.
A pleasure to speak. Let's do business.
Let's see. I'm not an axe person, so. Oh.
That's a fair deal.
Really need the book no more. Already learned the spell.
A pleasure to serve. Be seeing you.
Right. Do our own repairs. Well, we need to get 5,000 more. Alright, that's the other cave. That's... I didn't mean to do that. I meant to hit the jump button. Come on, jump! You're not a very good jumper, are you, horse? Looks like a road. Not on the map. What's on the... Came from there. There. All right, guys, that's all the time I have left. Thank you for coming and watching. Hey, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that follow button. You have some notifications on, let you know when I go live. I do plan on being live again tomorrow. Thinking about playing some more Ghost of Yotai. Tell me what you think. Want to see more Oblivion, or you want to see some Ghost of Yotai? Feel free to comment below or on Discord. I hope y'all have a great day, and we will see you next time.